Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 7 o'clock, 3 people shot within 7 hours in Lexington. Coming up, we'll explain where the latest victim was found. Plus, not even a month after dozens of teenagers escaped a high-profile juvenile detention center in Tennessee, more than a dozen more have escaped again. And a fire at an air traffic control facility in Chicago caused quite the traffic hassle here in the Bluegrass. We have these stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens, coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning to you on this Saturday. It is looking like a pretty nice day ahead. I'm Whitney Wetzel.
And I'm Mike Linden. Starting out this morning in the low 60s and upper 50s. Whitney, a gorgeous start so far to our Saturday and should only get better as we head into your weekend. Live First Alert Defender not showing us much of anything this morning. No real threat of rainfall as we head through most of your Saturday. That will change though as we get closer to Sunday evening. Some moisture working its way up from the Gulf of Mexico as we speak. That should bring with it a chance for some showers later on this weekend. But if you're planning out your Saturday today, get ready for a beautiful one. We'll get back to the low 80s. Mostly sunny out there. There will be a few more clouds today than what we've seen over the past few days, but nonetheless, still a beautiful day lies ahead of us. But here's what you can expect as we head into my full forecast in about 10 minutes. I'll be talking about the changes that will arrive later this weekend, and that's quite late, Sunday evening late, with even bigger changes on the way for next week. I'll take you hour by hour and show you what I'm tracking coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. 3 people were shot and taken to the hospital within 7 hours here in Lexington. Last night at 11, we told you about a man who was shot on Bainbridge Court around 8, and then another who was shot on Charles Avenue around 10. Early this morning, someone found another man shot on Old Georgetown Street. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at UK Hospital, where those victims are recovering. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Whitney. Police say of the 3 men who were rushed here to UK Hospital, one of them was shot in the back and another was shot in the stomach. Now, investigators believe the man with the gunshot wound to the stomach was shot around 3 o'clock this morning at Jazzy's Bar on Old Georgetown Street. Police tell us they were called to the bar after someone fired 5 shots, hitting the man once. Officers say in the second shooting case, another man was shot last night on Bainbridge Court. We're told 2 men were arguing outside when 2 shots were fired around 8 p.m. Police tell us 1 man was taken to the hospital while the other ran. He was last seen heading toward Darby Creek and Palumbo Drive. Investigators have a limited suspect description. They say he was wearing a white polo shirt and blue jean shorts. Now, police tell us a 3rd man was shot on Charles Avenue around 10 o'clock last night. We're told police found a man with a gunshot wound to his back near a liquor store just off Georgetown Road. Police also say they found a vehicle nearby that was riddled with bullet holes.
I heard about 4 or 5 shots ring out, and my brother was sitting in the car, and I said, that sounds like gunshots. And he said, no, is there something wrong? I said, no, it sounds like gunshots. So
investigators tell us none of the 3 men that were taken to UK Hospital have life-threatening injuries. Police also tell us no one has been arrested. They don't know what motivated yesterday's shootings, and at this time, investigators say they don't know if last night's shootings are connected, but they say that that is a possibility that they are looking into. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. Some terrifying moments for an eastern Kentucky couple after they were tied up inside of their home and robbed. This happened in the Middle Creek community of Floyd County just before 5 Friday morning. The elderly couple answered their door to find a man standing on their porch. He asked to use their phone, but the couple says the man and an accomplice soon turned violent. They tied them up, searched through their belongings, and even took some of those items.
Well, we didn't know where they was going to kill us or what they was going to do, because they kept saying that they'd burn the house down, and said they'd go out there, said if we did anything, they was going to go out, they was going to shoot us and go out there and set the house on fire.
Kentucky State Police warn others to not open their doors if you do not know the person at your door. Simply keep the door locked and call police. We're tracking a developing story this morning. A driver was pried out of their car after a wreck. Police tell us the car drove into a tree off Albany Road around 7 o'clock last night. The driver was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. There's no word yet this morning on how that person is doing. We now know more information this morning about a new traffic signal that's being built here in Lexington. The new signal at Man of War and Darby Creek has had a history of crashes. A director at the county's Division of Traffic Engineering says the signal may help correct that problem. In addition, this traffic signal has been in the works for several years. It'll be operational in about 2 weeks. A fire at an air traffic control center caused flight delays across the country, grounding nearly 2,000 flights. Those delays even caused issues here in the Bluegrass. Some people trying to get back to Lexington were stuck for hours at Chicago O'Hare Airport, meaning their family members were here waiting in Lexington for hours as well.
So the Chicago-Louisville plane is what was canceled. We had to call the airport to locate her. She didn't have a cell phone. She didn't have anything. They had to page her and everything.
You can always check flight arrival and departure times on Bluegrass Airport's website. We have a link to that page on our website, WKYT.com. 7:05 now, and not even a month after dozens of teens escaped from a juvenile detention center in Tennessee, 13 more teens escaped and even injured a staff member. The teens overpowered a guard inside a unit at the center in Davidson County last night. They stole his keys and his radio. The teens made their way out of the building to an exterior gate. All but one of those teenagers is now back in custody, but 2 teens are also still at large after the September 1st escape. A trial date has been set for a man accused of murdering a Winchester woman. Lonnie Martin will go before a judge on May 4th, according to the Winchester Sun. He's charged in the death of Kayla Klein last year. Police say Klein went missing last July, and surveillance video showed her getting into a car that was owned by Martin. Klein was later found under a pile of debris at a farm in Montgomery County. Martin is also charged in the 1995 death of his cousin, Joseph Martin. Ford Motor Company is recalling about 850,000 vehicles due to a possible issue with the restraints control module. The module can short circuit, which causes the airbag warning to light up. This means the airbags may not work if by chance the vehicle does crash. Some of the vehicles affected include Ford Fusions, Escapes, and the C-Max models. Senator Mitch McConnell says not defeating them is not an option for dealing with ISIS. He says that Washington will have a larger say on military action after the election, and the plan needs to consist of more than just airstrikes. His comments came during a visit to Lincoln Manufacturing in Stanford. Senator McConnell says what's happened with ISIS shows that the war on terror is not over. The senator says it was a mistake for the president to get all the way out of Iraq.
What we should have left behind is what the military typically calls a residual force. Remember, we did that in Germany and Japan after World War II. We did it in Korea after the Korean War. There's something about having an American detachment left behind that tends to soothe things down.
Senator McConnell says he believes ISIS will have to be defeated on the ground, and they are a threat to Americans on U.S. soil. Well, a big congratulations to Chelsea Clinton. We've learned this morning that she gave birth to a baby girl. The daughter of former President Bill Clinton welcomed Charlotte Clinton Mezvinsky on Friday. This is the first grandchild for Hillary and Bill Clinton. Chelsea and her husband Mark announced they were expecting their first child back in April. They waited until the baby was born to find out the gender. It is 7:08 and WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Coming up, it's a new way to play a tough sport. We'll show you how the sport of foot golf is gaining popularity.
And a great start to our Saturday so far, with current temperatures in the low 60s and upper 50s. Quite comfy outside as we get going. Light jacket could be a good idea, but it should be even better as we head into the afternoon. I'll show you why coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Mike Linden and First Alert Defender.
It's the weekend. It's the start of the first weekend of fall, and it should be a beautiful Saturday ahead of us with some warm daytime highs and some nice looking conditions out there. Live First Alert Defender not showing us any chance for rainfall as we get going early this morning, but there are some clouds out there. We throw the satellite image on top of the radar here, and you can see that the clouds are out there as we get started here on the weekend, but no rain within those clouds. That's a bit further south of us over the Gulf of Mexico, and we are watching this energy tracking its way northward, which will bring us the chance for some showers as we head into Sunday evening and Monday with the chance for some rainfall for Kentucky. So let's break down the rain chance Sunday and Monday. It looks like that 48-hour period could be the wettest, at least over the course of the next several days. Your south and southeastern zones, we're looking at Pulaski County, Laurel County, and pushing eastward into Harlan, Bell, Pike, and Perry counties. Even Breathitt County in Jackson could be looking at some showers, becoming a little heavier as we head into your Monday. That's that yellow color there. This green color here for Fayette County, Bourbon County, Woodford County, and pushing west into Boyle and Mercer County. Just a chance for some showers Sunday evening into Monday. So the highest risk of showers looks to be the spots over that yellow, with that yellow overlay there, along the Kentucky-Tennessee border and right along the Virginia border as well. Not much of a chance today, Saturday, and that's a good thing, especially if you're heading to Commonwealth when the Cats take on the Commodores today of Vanderbilt. Kickoff at noon, right around 74 degrees, mostly sunny and staying rather warm and sunny as we head into the second half. A few more clouds out there today than what we've seen lately, but otherwise perfect football weather. Doesn't really look like you'll need to grab that poncho as you head out to the game today. So here's your 24-hour planner. Looking like things should be quite nice throughout the day today. A little breezy later on this afternoon, but that should feel quite nice, especially with temperatures getting back to the lower 80s, a little warmer than normal. Normal, right around 74 degrees for this time of year. So pushing into the lower 80s with some warmer than normal temperatures should make for a beautiful Saturday afternoon. In fact, cooling down to normal by about 8 o'clock, 75 degrees. So it should be a rather nice evening for you out there tonight. But again, that chance for showers, that emerges Sunday into Monday. More likely day for some rain looks to be Monday. And we are tracking those showers pushing into Monday evening, possibly into Tuesday, but all models indicate that things should begin to calm down for the midweek period. But then some models are starting to show some activity popping up Thursday and Friday as a cold front arrives from the north. And Whitney, that should bring temperatures down below normal. Could be looking at the low 70s to kick off next weekend.
Rain with those temperatures, it's going to be pretty chilly.
That's right. At least the Cats are getting out there today on the best day of the next 7.
That's right. And speaking of sports, golf can be a hard game to master.
Yes,
not everyone's good
definitely,
at it.
Yes.
But there's a new way to play golf, and you don't need fancy clubs, just your foot and a soccer ball.
Interesting. Well, that's right. At East Twin Valley Golf Course in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, you can play foot golf.
The course's owner says you don't need any skill to play foot golf. All you need is to be able to kick a soccer ball. Each hole is about 100 yards. The foot golf holes are 21 inches in diameter to fit those soccer balls.
You know, that's much like Frisbee golf, which is almost the same way that you play regular golf, except the kicking a soccer ball or hitting a golf ball, you're throwing frisbees. But this I could get on board with. That's kind of fun.
I think I might have a little bit of a better chance with foot golf than regular golf.
I agree with you as well. You might have trouble though with that right there, the water hazards when you have to kick the ball out of the water or even out of the sand. Could risk looking like a bit of a fool there.
All right, well, when WKYT This Morning returns, we'll take a look at your local and national headlines, and we'll also show you what's new in theaters.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Welcome back to WKYT This Morning. Here is an update on our top stories. 3 people were shot in Lexington within a 7-hour span. The latest shooting happened on Georgetown Street near a bar after a fight broke out. That's according to witnesses. The first of the 3 shootings happened on Bainbridge Court, the second on Charles Avenue. Not even a month after dozens of teenagers escaped from a Tennessee detention center, 13 more overpowered a guard and got out. Officials say they've caught 12 of the 13 teens. One staff member at the facility was injured during that escape. Action, drama, and animated family-friendly tales all heading your way.
Ashley Dvorkin has a look at what's new in theaters this week.
Somebody does something unspeakable to someone you hardly knew. You do something about it. Because you can.
Denzel Washington returns to action star form as the Equalizer, a man with vigilante ways and the skills to back it up. He puts his retirement plans on hold after he meets a girl in need of rescue from Russian gangsters.
trolls. Box trolls are monsters.
For a family-friendly option, there's the Box Trolls, about little creatures who live under the town of Cheesebridge, and the orphan boy they adopted, who leads the way to defend them when their world is threatened by the town's villain.
Box Troll, come out, come out!
A villain voiced by Sir Ben Kingsley. The animated musical tale Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart is in select theaters and video on demand, following a boy who has a clock in place of a heart and lives by 3 rules, one being don't fall in love, a challenge he quickly faces when he meets a young singer.
Watch out for your ears!
In limited release is the biopic Jimmy, All Is By My Side, with Outkast's Andre Benjamin starring as legendary guitarist Jimi Hendrix in the mid-1960s before he made it big.
Thinks they recognized her. Nobody recognized you. She says they recognized her.
The con artist thriller The Two Faces of January, with Viggo Mortensen, Kirsten Dunst, and Oscar Isaac, expands to more theaters this week.
Hey, buddy, it's me, it's Mommy.
So does Fort Bliss, starring Michelle Monaghan as a U.S. Army medic who returns from Afghanistan, trying desperately to reconnect with her 5-year-old son. That film is also available on demand.
What's up there?
The maze.
Plus, audiences can still check out the best-selling novel, The Maze Runner, which topped the box office during its first week of release.
Why are we different?
In New York, Ashley DeVorkin.
A lot of good movies. I actually haven't seen a lot of those previews. I don't know about you.
You know, that Jimi Hendrix biopic, that looked interesting.
Yeah.
And Andre 3000 looks a lot like Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, once it starts getting colder, maybe towards the end of next week whenever it's raining.
Right, it's beautiful outside today,
Yeah.
so maybe hold off on seeing the movie for a couple days.
That's right. Well, it is 7:21. There's still more to come this morning.
Sports is next.
When we return, we hear from the Cats one final time before the Vandy matchup at noon, and the newest class of the UK Hall of Fame is inducted. Sports is next.
First Alert Defender showing us a whole lot of nothing as we get started this morning, so your Saturday looks to be quite pleasant as we get through the first half of your weekend. We are watching some moisture working its way up from the Gulf of Mexico, which will bring us a chance for some showers Sunday evening and into Monday. Not much going on today other than the mostly sunny skies. Nice and comfortable near 81 degrees, and that's warmer than where we should be normally for this time of year, which is right around 74 degrees, and that's where we'll be for kickoff today as the Cats take on the Commodores of Vanderbilt. 78 degrees for the second half with some warm temperatures continuing on, peaking near 81 later in the afternoon. And for more on the Cats and Commodores, here's Brian Milam with sports.
The football Wildcats return home today, and they're a big favorite to end their 17-game SEC losing streak, taking on Vanderbilt. The Cats should be fresh, coming off of a bye week and a big effort 2 Saturdays ago against Florida in an overtime loss. They look at today's game as a big opportunity.
This is a great opportunity for us to go out and showcase what we had did over the break that we had to make up for the mistakes we made during the Florida game, and to show that we fixed it. Things like stopping the power and countering that we really didn't do a good job of last week before. We just got to make sure we go out and just show all the rest of the teams that we're going to be playing that we had corrected it.
Last night, the newest class of the UK Hall of Fame being honored with a reception at the Hyatt in downtown Lexington. Former Wildcats Marty Moore, Keith Bogans, just a couple of those making the ultimate achievement for their UK career.
It's been 15, 16 years since I first got to the UK. And if you would have asked me this 15, 16 years ago, I wouldn't have thought I would be where I am today.
Today is a lot of reflection. It's a lot of thank yous, and really reflect on how you got to this point and why you're being inducted into a very elite organization, University of Kentucky, in the Hall of Fame.
The 40th Ryder Cup getting underway Friday morning at the Glen Eagles over in Scotland. 4-ball and the morning matches. Here's Sergio Garcia from the bunker at 4. Garcia holds out, gives he and Rory McIlroy a 1-up lead over Keegan Bradley and Phil Mickelson. At 10, Jordan Spieth rolls in this birdie. He and Patrick Reed win their match 5-4. In the afternoon session, Jamie Donaldson and Lee Westwood pick up a point at 18. Jim Furyk, Matt Kuchar concede. Europe and the U.S. are square at 2.5. Then the Europeans grab another point when Justin Rose wins the match for him and Henrik Stenson over Hunter Mahan and Zach Johnson. And after one day, the heavily favored Europeans grabbing a 5-3 lead. The foursomes play again right now this morning. That is a look at sports. Have a great day.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Now at 7:30, 3 shooting victims in just 7 hours. We have the latest on these Lexington shootings coming up in just a few. Plus, the next step in a shooting investigation has been put on hold. We'll have the latest. And a Lexington firefighter accused of hitting a pedestrian was back in court. We have these stories and more, plus breaking news as it happens coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning to you on this Saturday. I'm Whitney Wetzel.
And I'm Mike Linden. Whitney, so far so good here on Saturday morning. We're looking at beautiful conditions outside this morning and a comfortable feel as well to go along with that beautiful sky that we're seeing early on. So this is a shot from our studios in Lexington. A great start to our day so far, and temperature-wise, it is a bit cool, near 61 degrees, but that is quite a nice feel as you're looking to get started on Saturday morning. So whether or not you like to take the dog on a walk or head out for a nice run, beautiful weather to get you started and dry as well. Now, if we look to First Alert Defender, again, not seeing very many chances for rain as we get going early on this morning, but that will change as we get into the next few days. And again, starting out in the low 60s and mid to high 50s, quite nice for you as we get going early this morning. So here's what I'll be talking about in my full forecast in about 10 minutes from now. We'll focus more on what we can expect as we head into the rest of your weekend here, with even bigger changes on the way next week. Could get a little stormier by next weekend. I'll take you hour by hour and show you the storms I'm tracking coming up.
All right, Mike, thank you. In the news this morning, 3 people were shot and taken to the hospital within just 7 hours here in Lexington. Last night at 11, we first told you about a man who was shot on Bainbridge Court around 8, and then another who was shot on Charles Avenue around 10. Early this morning, someone found another man shot on Old Georgetown Street. WKYT's Mark Barber is live at UK Hospital where those victims are recovering. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Whitney. Police say they are still searching for the gunman who shot 3 men between 8 o'clock last night and 3 o'clock this morning. Now, investigators believe the most recent shooting happened at Jazzy's Bar on Old Georgetown Street. Police say they were called there at 3 a.m. for a disorderly after someone fired 5 shots, hitting a man once in the stomach. Officers tell us another man was shot around 8 o'clock last night on Bainbridge Court. We're told 2 men were arguing outside when 2 shots were fired. Police tell us the shooter ran and the other man was rushed to the hospital. We're told the suspect was last seen running toward Palumbo Drive and Darby Creek. Investigators say they have a limited suspect description. He is described as wearing blue jean shorts and a white polo short. Then around 10 o'clock last night, police tell us a 3rd man was shot in the back near a liquor store on Charles Avenue. Officers say they also found a vehicle of interest nearby that was riddled with bullet holes.
Came over here about an hour later and seen all this. So I said, you know, it was gunshots. I was right. It was a loud 4 or 5 boom, boom, boom shots. That's the only thing I heard or seen.
Officers tell us none of the 3 men that were taken to UK Hospital have life-threatening injuries. Now, we're told no one has been arrested for these shootings. Police also say they don't know what motivated yesterday's shootings, but I'm told that at this time investigators are looking into the possibility that last night's shootings are connected. At this time, they don't know if that is the case, but again, that's something they're investigating. Live here in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. The next step in the investigation into the shooting death of a robbery suspect is now on hold. The Fayette County coroner says he's waiting for UK Hospital to release Devin Marshall's body before he can take it to the state medical examiner for an autopsy. Winchester police say Marshall pulled a gun on a worker at the 96 truck stop on Tuesday morning. That was during an attempted robbery. The store owner shot Marshall, who died Thursday night from his injuries. A second suspect in the robbery, Curtis Wilkerson, entered a not guilty plea in court on Thursday. We now know more information this morning about a new traffic signal being built in Lexington. The new signal at Man of War and Darby Creek has had a history of crashes. A director at the county's Division of Traffic Engineering says this signal may help correct that problem. In addition, this traffic signal has been in the works for several years. It'll be operational in about 2 weeks. New this morning, a driver was taken to UK hospital after Lexington police say she ran right into a home. Police say a black passenger car rammed into a home on the 2300 block of Harrodsburg Road. That happened around 3:45 this morning. They say 4 people were inside the home at the time, but no one was injured. The fire department was able to stabilize the home since there wasn't much damage. The driver of the car went to UK hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A former Lexington firefighter charged in a hit-and-run crash last Friday was back in court. Jared McCargo is accused of driving drunk and crashing his SUV into the beer trap in the Chevy Chase neighborhood. He critically injured a soldier. Police say McCargo took off after that crash. Yesterday, a Lexington police officer testified about McCargo's wife, who was also in that SUV.
They saw a parking spot in front of Charlie Brown's. She was unable to park in that parking spot, and they got into an argument about parking, and that's when Mr. McCargo then took over, and then they attempted to park in the spot at the beer trap.
The judge forwarded McCargo's case onto a grand jury. She also reduced McCargo's bond to 10% of the initial $13,000 amount. Police said McCargo registered a .119 on a preliminary breath test. That's about 1.5 times the legal limit. We are tracking a developing story this morning out of Oklahoma, where an accident involving a bus and a semi-truck has killed at least 4 people. Local news stations say the bus was carrying the North Central Texas College softball team. The crash happened on Interstate 35. Officials say 3 people died at the scene, while another died at a local hospital. The National Transportation Safety Board is expected to send a crew to investigate that accident. In an act of solidarity with countries stricken by the Ebola outbreak, the president of the Ivory Coast is lifting its flight suspension. The country had previously suspended flights to countries with Ebola outbreaks, a move that was considered controversial. The president said that decision was because everyone was uncertain about the threat and people had panicked. The Ivory Coast has also contributed $1 million to the international fight against Ebola. Well, it is 7:36, and an early congratulations to Kentucky native George Clooney. He's marrying his fiancée, lawyer and activist Amal Alamuddin. Clooney and his lady love cruised the canals of Venice on Friday ahead of their weekend nuptials. The two have not divulged many details about their wedding, but rumor has it the Aman Hotel, which overlooks the Grand Canal, will be one of their wedding venues. Clooney's parents, Nick and Nina, will of course be attending their son's wedding. Well, this Sunday, the Montessori Middle School of Kentucky is hosting a brunch using ingredients prepared by their 7th and 8th grade students. The students have not only provided some of the farm-to-table ingredients, but they're also preparing pumpkin rolls to be served for dessert. 7th grade student Zach Brown is the produce manager for the cooking class. His job is to plant, tend, and harvest the produce that's being used for brunch this weekend. And as Mike has been saying, the weather is supposed to be absolutely wonderful for fans headed to the UK game in just a few hours, and UK hopes to pack Commonwealth Stadium. After a triple overtime loss at Florida, the Wildcats want to build on the program's positive direction. Ticket sales are up, and UK is cutting some prices on seats, hoping to get the first sellout at Commonwealth Stadium in 4 years. The stadium has 62,000 seats for fans this season.
We haven't sold out in a while, but we're sure we're going to have the biggest crowd of the season so far tomorrow.
It's not too late to score a ticket for the game. Just go to WKYT.com. There you'll find a link for online ticket purchases. And starting at 9 this morning, you can buy reserved tickets for just $50 each at the stadium. It is 7:38 and WKYT This Morning is just getting started. Coming up, we'll have a look at a local high school's production of a famous play from the 1950s. Stay tuned.
A beautiful start so far to our Saturday. There are some clouds out there, but nonetheless, Saturday looks to be quite nice for you. But I am tracking some storms in the forecast. I'll show you when they'll pop up coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with Mike Linden and First Alert Defender.
It's the first Saturday of the fall season, and it should be a great day ahead of us here as we kick off your weekend with a beautiful sky over Lexington. This is the live sky camera from our studios. You can see some clouds out there, but nothing producing any rainfall. We can see that here on Live First Alert Defender. The radar sweeps not picking up much of anything across Kentucky early on. If we throw that satellite image on top, though, you'll see that again, there are some clouds out there. It's not going to be the pristine sunny day today that we've seen almost all of this work week. But with those clouds, we will start to see some change, particularly so into Sunday evening as moisture works its way up from the Gulf of Mexico. That will produce some rain showers and some heavy rain for a few spots. So let's break down that rain chance as those showers work their way toward the region here with these two overlays, the green color and the yellow color. The yellow, though, being the heavier of the two, the highest risk of dealing with that heavy rain, and the green really just a chance for some showers. So some of the spots included under that highest risk, we're looking at Pulaski County, Laurel County, and pushing eastward into Harlan, Bell, Pike, and Perry counties. And then for just the shower chances, that looks like Fayette County, Mercer and Boyle County, and pushing eastward into Lee, Owsley, and Wolfe counties. Now, for your Saturday today, as we head into the afternoon, of course, it's game day at Commonwealth Stadium. And when the Cats kick off against Vanderbilt today at around noon, things should be mostly sunny and quite warm for you. A very comfortable day as far as weather goes and football weather goes, because into the second half, we're looking at temperatures at about 78, 79 degrees. Nice and warm for you. It's certainly going to be beautiful football weather out there today. Really no need to bring a poncho to the stadium today. So here's your zone-by-zone forecast for the region. We're looking at temperatures right around 81, 82 degrees for our bluegrass zone. The southern zone just a touch warmer. Should be a beautiful day if you're looking to head down to Lake Cumberland. Russell Springs at about 82. Campbellsville right around that same mark as well. Our southeastern zone right around the low 80s and upper 70s. Harlan coming in at 79, as well as Pikeville there. And our northern zones right around 81, 80 or so degrees. It is going to be a warm one today and mostly sunny. But again, the moisture working its way up from the Gulf of Mexico will change things, especially so Sunday evening as we head into your Monday. So temperature-wise, things are going to slip a little bit thanks to the thicker clouds arriving. Monday, the more likely day for us to be looking at some rain. And then into the middle of the work week, we'll stabilize a little bit. Things becoming breezy on Thursday ahead of a storm beginning to work its way in as we head into Friday. Could be looking at a cold front taking things back into the lower 70s there, Whitney. So today, a great day to spend some time outside. If you're heading to Commonwealth, just a beautiful day for football.
Yeah, and a little bit warmer than what we saw earlier last week.
And a little bit warmer than normal as well. Normal right around 74, 75 today, getting into the low 80s. So feeling a lot more like summer today than we did in summer just a week ago.
That's right. Well, 12 Angry Men is a play from the 1950s. It centers around a jury deliberating a young man's fate.
The drama department at Lafayette High School is bringing that classic to life this weekend. WKYT's Deanne Stevens is out and about in Lexington with more. Good morning, Deanne.
Hey, good morning, guys, from Beeler Auditorium here at Lafayette High School. Kick things off for 12 Angry Men, the Lafayette Drama Department did here on Thursday night. And the good thing is you still have a chance to check them out. We have Hannah and Scott with us, juror number 3 and 8. Things have gone great so far, I understand.
They've gone wonderful. We've had 2 very good shows, and we're looking forward to having more great shows.
Folks can still come out. Tell them about 12 Angry Men.
Well, the whole premise of the show is that there's this boy on trial, and all of us think he's guilty, but then there's this one that likes to just get us, and she wants to bring us down to just see the facts instead of our own personal prejudice.
Okay, so set the scene for what we're about to see now.
So in this scene, juror number 10, this is where you can really see the racial prejudice affecting our judgment, and she has this wonderful monologue showing that in her.
Here we go, 12 Angry Men.
Vote is 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
I don't understand you people. All
All these picky little points you keep bringing up, they don't mean nothing. You saw this boy just like I did. You can't tell me you believe that phony story about losing the knife and that business about being at the movies. You know how these people lie. It's born in them. I mean, what the heck? I don't have to tell you. These people don't know what the truth is. And let me tell you, they don't need a real big reason to kill someone either. No, sir. Oh, you know. They get drunk. Oh, yeah, they're real big drinkers. Then all of a sudden, someone's lying in the gutter. No one's blaming them for it. It's just how they are. By nature. You know what I mean. Violent. Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Hey, where are you going? It's these people. They're lushing it up and fighting all the time. And if somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. Sure, there are a few good things about them. Look, I'm the first person to say that. Yeah, I've known a few who are okay. But that's the exception. You know what I mean?
Lafayette Drama Department presenting 12 Angry Men. 7 o'clock tonight is showtime here at Beeler Auditorium. $10 a ticket for adults, and you can come show up at the door and get your ticket tonight at 7, and then a matinee showing tomorrow. I'm Deanne Stevens. Back to you guys.
All right, Deanne, looks good. Well, it is 7:47.
More news when we return.
Good morning. I'm Bill Bryant. We'll hear from top leaders in Frankfort about the bitter battle for control of the State House. Clips from Kentucky newsmakers coming up on WKYT this morning. Good morning. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Democrats have controlled the Kentucky State House of Representatives for more than 90 years. But Republicans think they have a good chance of wresting away that power by picking up a handful of seats in November. On this weekend's edition of Kentucky Newsmakers, Democratic Speaker Greg Stumbo and Republican Whip Bam Carney talk about why each believes his party should be in control. Here's a sample. Do you think it's important that Democrats continue to control the State House?
Governor Beshear makes the case best, I think, Bill, when he tells audiences, I heard him say it again last night, if you want to go backward, if you want to be like Mississippi, if you want to be like Alabama, if you want to move Kentucky back, then vote for the Republican platform. But if you want to keep Kentucky moving forward, as we have even in these recessionary times, then we should look to those who have been in power during this time of turmoil, and that's the Democratic Party and Governor Beshear for further leadership. So, you know, I think it's that's the case in a nutshell.
You know, this is a situation where you're not voting for really statewide. It's these local districts. To what extent are these local elections hard to get a handle on when you're trying, as say, Speaker, to control the majority in the chamber?
Well, what we find is it's very difficult to unseat an incumbent, no matter whether they're a Democrat or a Republican. And people tend to stay with what they know. So there has to be sort of a compelling reason to change. And, you know, we're not seeing that happen in this election year so far. At the local level, people may not like Washington, for example. You see the polls that you know, their numbers are dismal, below dismal, they're awful. But they like their own state or their own congressman or their own United States senator by and large. So it's sort of a different, these are local races and they identify with their local candidates, and we've got some pretty good local candidates.
How would things be different in Frankfort and in this state if Republicans were able to gain control of the State House of Representatives?
Well, Mr. Bryan, thanks for the opportunity for the chance to be on and lay out some of the issues that we want to address. First off, it would be different by, we commit to the folks of the citizens of the Commonwealth that we will not be afraid to take on the difficult issues. You have Speaker Stumbo and his leadership team with over 100 years of experience combined. Been 93 years since the House has been under Democrat control, and we feel like they have not taken on the difficult issues that need to be taken on, and we're prepared to do that. And you identify those issues as what? Well, obviously jobs is one. You know, August unemployment numbers, seasonally adjusted, were 7.1%. You look at the surrounding states around us, Kentucky's per capita income is the second lowest of all of our border states, with only West Virginia below us. In the last 10 years, We have created less jobs than any state, any of our border states besides West Virginia. Those are not things that Kentucky should be proud of. You know, we're a sports state, obviously. And I know this is UK territory, but there's also Louisville fans here. And if John Calipari or Rick Pitino or Mark Stoops or any of these coaches had the record that this House leadership team had on creating jobs and other things, which basically puts us in the bottom third of the SEC, you would say, I think we all know what the fan base would be demanding. That would be change, and we're here to offer folks that change.
And to see the full interviews with Stumbo and Carney, catch Kentucky Newsmakers. It runs at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on WKYT and repeats tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the CW Lexington. Set your DVR or catch it then. Go Wildcats! I'm Bill Bryant. Stay with us now for more WKYT This Morning.
Whitney, today is a new holiday.
That's right. The United Nations World Tourism Organization has declared today World Tourism Day. The group nominated today as an annual day of observance to highlight tourism's social, cultural, political, and economic value. The WTO says people are traveling internationally more now than ever, with more than 500 million people internationally.
Well, today should be a beautiful day. Head out to that football game and enjoy the mostly sunny Saturday.
Have a great Saturday.